Welcome to Right Medicine, a podcast that explores the minds, motivations, and practices of people who create content that connects with and educates healthcare professionals. I'm your host, Alex Howson, a former nurse, a medical sociologist, and an education writer and researcher in healthcare. Join me to learn from education professionals about resources and tools of the trade, and listen to stories about what drives them in the medical education field. If your work involves planning, designing, or delivering education to healthcare professionals, this podcast is for you. Hello and welcome to Right Medicine. I'm your host, Alex Howson, and I use she, her pronouns. I wanted to jump in today and introduce myself to those of you who may be new to the podcast, and also to share a short summary of topics that you might have missed in season 1, so that it's easy peasy to go back and download those episodes for your library. I'm a Scot from Ohio. I know that you can't hear Ohio in my voice. I was only there till I was 8 years old, but I like to say you can take the girl out of Ohio, you can't take Ohio out of the girl. I'm a mother of 2 adult daughters, a former nurse, a healthcare writer, a qualitative researcher, and a yoga teacher. And I know that sounds like a lot, but we're all Renaissance people in postmodernity, and I think that we hear that again and again from guests on this podcast. In season 1, we explored a whole bunch of topics with relevance for the field of continuing healthcare education, like how to use design thinking as a foundation for educational strategy, how to craft high-value patient education content and write medical case studies, the power of simulation in education, how leadership styles impact education design and delivery, and a whole host of other topics. And of course, we heard from an incredible cast of illustrious guests with deep expertise in their field, including Andrew Chacko, Genevieve Walker, Scott Kober, Nina Taylor, Monique Johnson, and more. These guests are your colleagues and peers. They generously share their expertise in order to support the CME CPD community and make sure that you have the tools and resources that you need to do the important work that you do. That really is at the heart of this podcast. Season 2 is similarly stuffed with fascinating insights into the personal stories and professional wisdom of your peers in CME CPD, including Griselda Butler, Elizabeth Franklin, Alison Kickle, and more. And we'll be focusing on topics like mentorship, storytelling, the use of social media in education, and qualitative research. Come and join the party. You can listen on your favorite platform, and all the links are in the show notes. That's all for this week. Thank you for connecting with me in this teeny tiny episode. And if you enjoyed listening, please subscribe and or leave a review on your podcast listening platform. That helps us deepen our connection even further. And if you're interested in receiving alerts about what's coming up next, as well as a summary of resources and tools that our guests share, why not sign up for our bi-weekly newsletter? There's a link in the show notes. And as a gift, you'll receive a summary of top tips and tools from season 1 to elevate your education content. I'm your host, Alex Howson, and this is Right Medicine.